The moment Ariz Malik stepped into the sunlit cafe across from his office, balancing a paper cup of coffee and the quiet weight of being a single father, he did not expect to see his world pause in the middle of an ordinary workday. At a corner table near the window, where daylight spilled gently across chipped wood and dust motes floated like forgotten prayers, sat Meher Kazi from accounting, shoulders folded inward, tears slipping down her face as if she had finally run out of strength to hold them back. Something about the way she cried in the open, in the middle of a busy afternoon, struck Ariz harder than any sleepless night ever had. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet moments that can change lives forever, take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Whisper Tales 3. Stories like this grow only when hearts choose to listen. Ariz was 34, a widower for 4 years and a father to a 7-year-old boy named Ryan, who believed his dad could fix anything with enough duct tape and love. Every day was a careful balancing act between deadlines, parent-teacher meetings, and the silent grief that never quite left. Meher was someone Ariz had known only in passing, a polite smile in the hallway, a shared elevator ride, an occasional exchange of spreadsheets. She was efficient, composed, always the one who stayed late without complaint. Seeing her unravel in daylight made him realize how little anyone truly knew about the battles others carried. The cafe hummed with midday life, cups clinking, sunlight flashing off glass, the city moving on without noticing the small human collapse happening at that table. Ariz hesitated, his instinct to keep his head down warring with the memory of nights when he himself had cried quietly in his car, so his son would never hear. He walked over, set his coffee down, and sat across from her without asking permission, not out of boldness but out of recognition. He did not pry or offer easy comfort. Instead, he acknowledged her pain in a way that felt rare, letting her know she was seen, that breaking down did not make her weak, and that some people carried storms for so long that they forgot what calm felt like. What Ariz shared with her was not advice but truth shaped by loss. He spoke about learning to wake up every morning after tragedy, about making breakfast while grief sat beside him at the table, about realizing that surviving was not the same as living. He reminded her, gently and without judgment, that even when life felt unbearably heavy, choosing to stay kind to oneself could be an act of courage. In that quiet cafe bathed in honest daylight, Meher listened as if someone had finally put words to the ache she had been hiding for years. Meher's struggle was one no one at work knew. She had been caring for an ill parent alone while quietly enduring a broken engagement that had left her questioning her worth. She came to work every day because routine felt safer than stillness. Crying at the cafe was not planned, it was simply the moment her strength ran out. Ariz's presence did not fix her problems, but it changed something deeper. It reminded her that pain did not have to be invisible to be respected, and that asking for help did not mean failure. Days passed, and the cafe became a shared space of quiet healing during lunch breaks. Always in the daylight, always surrounded by ordinary life, they talked about small things and heavy ones. About Ryan's drawings taped crookedly to the fridge, about Meher's forgotten dreams of studying art, about how loneliness could exist even in crowded rooms. Ariz struggled with guilt for feeling anything close to hope again, fearing it might betray the memory of his late wife. Meher struggled with trusting that kindness could exist without an agenda, slowly, without promises or expectations. Both learned that healing did not demand forgetting, only moving forward with honesty. At work, subtle changes appeared. Ariz began leaving on time more often, choosing playground afternoons over empty overtime hours. Meher started speaking up in meetings, her voice steadier, her shoulders less burdened. The challenges did not vanish. Ryan still had nights when he asked questions Ariz could not answer. Meher still faced uncertain medical bills and emotional exhaustion. But the weight felt shared now, and that made all the difference. The turning point came on an ordinary afternoon when Ariz brought Ryan to the cafe after school, sunlight pouring in as the boy excitedly showed Meher his latest drawing. In that simple moment, Meher saw a future she had stopped believing in, one where brokenness did not disqualify her from connection. Ari saw that letting someone into his life did not erase his past but honored it by choosing to live fully again. Just before the ending of this story, take a moment to comment below and share which part of this journey stayed with you the most. Your words matter more than you know. What Ari said that first day did not magically solve their lives, but it planted a seed. He reminded Meher, and in doing so reminded himself, that pain does not get the final word unless we allow it to. In the bright honesty of daytime, two people learn that sometimes the most life-changing moments happen not through grand gestures, but through quiet presence and shared humanity.